The Golden Age guru bought some Golden Age books, and this guy thinks he's going to open them at home without the camera rolling. No, we're going to open it right now. All right, so I get a text from Jeff. He says, all right, I got these books. I'm going to go home. I'm so excited. I got 3 Golden Age books. I'm going to open them. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to come here. You're going to go on the mic. And if the community hits that like and hits that subscribe button, maybe you'll do more of these unboxings.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that you guys are really interested in seeing, I'll gladly open up whatever I buy, artwork or comic books.
How many people are getting these comics, man? This is a cool experience. We got to share it with the community.
Let's share.
What do you got?
All right, let's take a look here. Obviously pre-opened it because who wants to fudge around with tape?
I know that's a little tip that we have, but I don't know what's in here.
No.
You opened it. You didn't even like really open it because I want to get your full like what you do when you buy expensive books like this. Like, what's your process? Let's do it right here on the mic.
Okay, so I've opened it. I haven't looked at them at all. I just took off the tape, so it's easy for us to just go through them. So let's check them out together here.
It's a really cool hat, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't know you're a Paranormal Activity fan like me. No,
Shut the front door. All right, so I bought 3 books from this gentleman. One is a Prison Break 2.
Ooh,
okay.
Let's take a look at that.
And another is a Rangers 26.
Ooh. Dude, this is cool, man. You always get in those awesome female covers.
Yeah, female Prison Break cover.
Yeah.
You know, I have one coming in the mail too, Crimes by Women. I'll show that because that's an awesome book.
This is dope, dude. Okay. So tell me about these books. Like, first off, why these books?
Okay, so the first one is Prison Break number 2. It's an Avon. It's just, when you get these Prison Break covers with female characters, it's just something that's more of a classic type of good girl genre cover.
Sure.
And people just love it. And it's just fun to see girls breaking out of prison, just being tough.
Right.
You know, and like I said, I'll bring that Crimes by Women one. It's like a girl catfight in a prison. I mean, it's just a cool cover. So this is just why I bought this one, because I love it. So I'm going to look at it right now. I'm checking it out, analyzing it from the front.
Now, you haven't seen this before, so let's go through the process. Let's pretend you're on the show floor. You got 3 dealers behind you looking at these books. What happens here?
Yeah, so I've already been through that box now. Go ahead, dealers, grab whatever you want. I got what I want.
All right.
So I'm going to go through it. I'll take it out the bag, which is like an old...
Yeah, there's no tape on that,
bag,
so
no.
it's so safe.
You know, it looks good from here. I'd say it's 3.5, potentially 3.0. Solid all around. Paper quality is great. This is off-white white.
He's counting
through
He's
it.
counting right now.
Counting. I'm checking to the middle just to make sure the centerfold's attached because that's important to me.
And it has the centerfold.
It has the centerfold. Obviously, just fun artwork. And it looks like the top staple is detached at the here, so I'd give this book a solid 3.0.
Okay.
Good colors, great paper.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All
I'm
right.
going to get rid of this bag.
Yeah, we'll get you some new Golden Age bags.
Yeah, this one here, if you want to check it out.
Let's take a look. Ooh, damn, that's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, that's
oh
a
my
nice
gosh, look at that.
Yeah, so Ranger Comics number 26. Just a cool cover. Lily Renee is the artist, one of the earliest female artists at the time. And once we start getting into talking about comic artists in general, I mean, she'll definitely be one of the ones we discuss. I see Tom sniffing the book.
Dude, it smells great.
I used to smell all my books just to make sure there's no chemical smell, cat smell, anything. And I've had a couple where I just didn't agree with me. So I quickly stopped.
Oh, really? It was that bad?
Yeah, because, things would come out of there or there'd be dust and you'd just be like, after a while, you're like, what 1940 mustard gas thing could be in here?
Mustard gas? I don't know. There's this like particular scent. I want to know in the comment section who knows what I'm talking about. There is this like particular smell from old paper as it oxidizes. There's a little bit of a like it's a mix between the vanilla from the acidity. Like there's a little bit of vanilla. There's also a little bit of like an almond smell, and then you also have just like the aged paper, which is a hint of mold. But you know what? Combined, it's kind of pleasant.
You sound like a sommelier of comics right now. That's hilarious.
I don't know. It's what it is, though. I mean, like, I'm fascinated by it. Just like the age of it alone, the smell, like there's so much to experience. Unless it's something really bad and it turns you off. Yeah,
like, I mean, I can generally smell a book from a distance. I used to really get in there, and now I just like, if it's not giving off anything from a foot away, what am I trying to find?
What's the purpose?
Exactly.
There was actually a book that I listed for a homie, and it was a gorgeous FF, and it was returned. And the person returned it because he's like, oh, this book smells really old and I just don't like it. And it smelled like a normal comic book. So we were happy to take it back. We're like, we're just going to take it back. It's okay. It was a really nice Kirby, Kirby cover. But some people care about the smell, and so much to the point that if it has too much or not enough, they won't buy it.
Yeah, there's plenty of snobs and paper snobs, odor snobs, spine roll snobs.
We can say it because I'm all those snobs. That's all me. You're describing me, man.
Yeah, I have things that I'm okay with on covers.
Sure.
I don't mind date stamps.
Dude, I love date stamps.
Oh, okay.
I think date stamps are awesome. We should do a whole show on date stamps.
I have a classic cover that I bought. Had no idea that the date stamp was my birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it was already a keeper for my collection, and then had a date stamp of my birthday, and I was like, oh my God, I will never let you go.
Dude, that is awesome. Now you're giving me something more to hunt for.
Yeah, there's those collectors who only want date stamps.
I heard
for their birthday.
I was this would have been Emerald City, and I was just kind of hovering around the torpedo table, listening to John Delaman talk to these just elite dealers. They're showing off an FF at 9.6, talking about getting it to a 9.8, like just crazy stuff happening. And so one of his friends mentions, hey, like that this one has, like this one had a date stamp, so I didn't want it. And Delaman, he's like, oh, I wouldn't care about that. I would always buy a date stamp comic book over a non-date stamp comic, and I'd pay more for it. And the person's like, oh, why? And it's like he asked him a question he'd been waiting to give like an answer to. And he went on a tangent. He's like, can you imagine back in the 60s that there's this guy fucking hates comics. He's putting them on his stand. He's getting these in a box, these damn comic books for all these kids selling at 10 cents a piece. He hated his job, getting up at like 4 a.m. to put these damn comic books on. And then he starts spraying them down. He has to put date stamps on them. Doesn't even know what he's doing. He's trying to feed his kids. And that book survived all the way to this point at 9.6 with that date stamp. It has an added history to it. So, I mean, like after he said that, I'm like, yeah, damn, he's kind of right there. There's more history to it with that little added piece of ink that the dealer did. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. And there's also books that were distributed at Army bases, and they get a little star stamp.
Yep.
And I love that too.
People ask, I get messages. They're like, what's with the star? What's with the ink on the very top of the book? Because when these dealers back in the day, they would spray them, they would stamp them. That's how they told them apart.
And we're not even talking dealers. We're talking newsstands.
Yeah, these aren't dealers. Like these are like, the Rite Aid magazine, the guy who runs the Rite Aid magazine stand, which doesn't exist. But I mean, like back in the day on the streets of New York and stuff,
Yeah.
You got a third comic book there. I'm itching to see. I see it from here. And I'm excited. I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but what do you got there?
So this is Adventures in the Darkness, number 11. I'm going to hand it to you so you can check it out. But look at that cover.
Ooh, that is dope, dude.
And it's hard to find these horror books in with black covers specifically, which a lot of them are.
Mission from the Grave.
In really nice shape. So that one was pretty solid. I mean, he has it graded as a 5.0. So I'll check it out and take a look at it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be far off of that.
Now, do you press your Golden Age books?
I will press them if I think it needs them. So I'll press just about any book if I feel like it needs it. Not too much modern because I just don't deal with too much modern. But for Golden Age, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a different science. So
all right. So this cover has a bunch of things going for it. You have someone who's in the basement of someone's house, and there's a furnace with a body in there. This dude looks like he's stealing some jewelry, and it looks like this must be the murderer here. I'm guessing here. I mean, Mission from the Grave. We got some horror classic, Adventures into Darkness. The color work, outstanding.
It really is. It pops. You got yellow and black, orange, more yellow. This just contrast between the skull and the basement furnace. It's a cool cover.
It's great. And, they were limited to what they could use for color back then because of their printing press and what ink they, had available to them. And, certain inks were more expensive, and a lot of decisioning went into that as well, on that basis rather. But this is an awesome Golden Age horror classic. And because you're unboxing some Golden Age horror, I mean, we got to send out some Golden Age horror. So I have a copy. This is a reprint. We're starting out with reprints. If you like and subscribe, comment down below. We'll enter you in to win a Tales from the Crypt issue number 7 reprint. Like if we're talking about Golden Age horror, this is one of the easiest ones to get you into this genre. Wouldn't you say? Yeah,
that'll expose you to it. And that cover right there, I can't remember which issue number off the top of my head, but that specific cover has spiked this last year drastically. So it's got to have this classic feel to it for you to enjoy, and the story is probably really great as well.
More than one story in these, too. A lot of these are filled with 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Very cool. What should we ask the audience to do in the comment section below to be entered to win this book?
So if you guys want to enter in to win this Tales from the Crypt reprint of number 7, go ahead and like and subscribe below. And why don't you let me know and Tom know what your last mail call was?
That's right. We just learned what your last mail call was from the Golden Age Guru. I want to know from the audience, what was the last comic book that you got in the mail? We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And as always,
Geek responsibly.
Enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget, you got 3 days. That's right, only 3 days left to reserve your December mystery mail call. We got great keys going out, super excited. But if you got your November mail call, don't forget to post it because we do bonus raffles every month for those who post their mail call. Join the community. What are you waiting for?